one ever talked about those who were taken away. One quiet evening I asked Maria about what happened to them. It wasn't a smart question. It was bothered that I didn't know about where I would have gone. Maria clammed up. She clearly knew the answer to my question, but she wouldn't utter a word about it. After a long, agonizing silence, she laughed nervously. What happens to them doesn't matter. Now I understand what Maria meant. Why she withdrew into herself when Jael was taken away. This is what happened to Jael. This is what should have happened to me a year ago. This is what is happening to me now. In a cell. I don't know where I am on the island anymore. The room is old and poorly maintained, but stable enough not to collapse in on its prisoner. That's enough to house those rejected by the Haven. In my mind, this is hell's waiting room. I'm not dead. Not in hell yet. When I go, it'll be no different from here. Here, it's dark. There's almost no light except for the candles glowing in the hallway in front of me. A small sliver of sunshine from the window above my cell. I don't know what I look like anymore. There aren't any mirrors here. To stay warm, I have to huddle into myself. It's cold and hard everywhere else in the room. It's not like I have anywhere else to go. Anyways, I'm chained to a wall. All I'm wearing is the thinnest underlayer of my uniform, a white cloth slip, my dress, my socks, my shoes, even my own ribbons, all snatched away. For repurposing, I was told. I'd never once seen a uniform's material get reused. They have likely been burnt instead. One of the walls next to me, there's a small metal slot. Through that slot comes the only food I get. I have to crawl, to stretch out, to struggle, to humiliate myself, so that I can touch the plate that slides through once per day. All this for crusts of stale bread and cups of musty water. As is, the conditions are barely enough to keep myself alive. That's probably the point. Haven only nurtures those who obey it. When there's nothing to eat, there's nothing to do. Fear has long given way to anxiety. Anxiety has long given way to boredom. Boredom has long given way to hazy dissociation. Nothingness. A bare minimum existence. All I do is stare. Stare. And stare. Till my mind melts. My eyelids grow heavy. Till I sink into a deep, long sleep. I don't dream of anything. I can't dream of anything. I'm too tired to dream of anything anymore. What awaits me is the same maddening emptiness that sits with me when I'm awake. A silent void. At this point, even a violent nightmare would be a blessing. Not even Nils reaches out to me anymore. No visions of their past life. No bouts of anger or desire. No message sent to me in any shape or form. What if they finally... If or when it happened, were they alone? I couldn't be there. Don't know. But I know. Never kept my promise. I have no right to know. When I first woke up here, sect heads and Lady Amaris stood outside my door. Of course, Lady Amaris didn't want anything to do with me. I was no longer a member of the Haven. To her, I was no longer a person, sitting here slumped on the cold floor like trash, tripped all over. She had more important things to do. As quickly as she came, she went back to her quarters. 3 sect heads were assigned to me in her stead, to monitor me. Those heads, the very people who accused me. Grace is ahead now. These visits were boasting sessions to an audience who could never turn away. I heard her at the door. I knew I'd shortly face a smug grin and a laundry list of accomplishments and righteous deeds. He was already a sect head, but the increased prestige that she was rewarded with for uncovering my misdeeds was a colossal stroke to her ego. The research sect gained more attention and resources, and her projects became highly elaborate. So long being overshadowed by the art and writing sects, the research sect was finally recognized for its importance to Haven society. It would rub the daily praise she received in my face, like long remarks from younger girls who wanted to be like her. The popularity of her written work and projects and their influence on culture and affairs. Successful proposals she made for the newer, stricter rules within the Haven. There are even whispers that Lady Mars herself wanted to make Eve the successor to her cause. Lieutenant Foreman was a likely future leader of the Haven. All thanks to me and my little fuck-up. Congratulations, Eve. You made it. Be proud of yourself. Ceres, you? Ceres was promoted to the head of the writing sect. I wanted to forget as soon as she let me know. But Ceres made it impossible. All hers were the pristine white veil and dress, as well as her boasts about her newfound power. Every gloat of hers was punctuated with kicks to the gut and deep, cutting insults. Saris loved making me suffer. My food dish was there, she'd kick it out of the way, too far for me to reach. Quickly learned to lick my plate clean as soon as food came. She'd read segments from her books and have me recite them. Less than exact repetitions earned me a slap in the face. Jesus. Sometimes she'd hurt me for mistakes that didn't even happen. Once Saris brought scissors from the art sect. He pinned me into stock-still submission and held the blade to my head, clasped around some strands. Blades came down. Hair fell. She kept on cutting. She cut and cut and cut until all my hair had been shorn off. She left that day, clutching bunches of my locks tightly in her fists. I don't know what she did with them. I don't want to find out. Here in the little dark place, Saris could finally be better than me. Mentally, physically, creatively. Of course, she was right. After all, I got kicked out of the Haven, not her. Grace got what she wanted. Then there was... Well, there was Grace. Because Grace prioritized the Haven's safety over mine, she was well rewarded. Sacrificing me, she was made the new head of the architectural sect. Apparently, the old head stepped down willingly. She didn't like her job and the stress of maintaining the Haven, and took it out on the members beneath her. Hence Grace, and many others like her, faced long, exhausting hours of work, than what Grace had done for the conversation of other heads who walked past my cell. She made the architectural sect's hours fairer. Members were no longer required to stay up late for their projects. They could go to dinner at the same time as everyone else, participate in other events, and socialize with their friends. Because of Grace's reforms to the architectural sect, they became one of the most beloved heads within the Haven, and even began to call her the Second Maria. On top of that, Grace now had many friends who loved her. Now that I wasn't keeping them at bay. Of the three heads, Grace visited me the least. Her visits were always the most devastating for me. If she came, Grace simply stared at me through the bars of my cell door. Clothed in the white dress and veil of her new power, her face always crystallized in a tragic expression. Her eyes shone like polished glass, her eyebrows quirked up, and her lips pursed, like she was on the verge of tears. I knew she wished that things had been different. If only you had restrained your emotions, had suppressed your curiosity, had destroyed that diary, we'd have still been friends, Magda. Her face said all these things, each and every time. She hurt me the most. I was used to Eve's condescension, anticipated Saris's violence. I couldn't stand Grace's pity. She hurt me the most, betrayed me, took my diary and showed it, exposed me for who I was and what I was doing. I betrayed her too, by staying myself. I wanted her to punish me. I wanted her to walk up to me and scream so close to my face that my eardrums would ring. Boast to me loudly. Tell me how much better her life was since she threw me away. I wanted her to tear out all the tufts of hair that remained on my head until my scalp bled from the force. I wanted her delicate hands to choke me until my face turned blue. But of course Grace would never do any of those things. She couldn't. Grace was a nice girl. A nice girl who sat and stared sadly until her eyes bore into my soul. Of all the heads, I hated her the most. I can't remember when I was first brought here. Here to this place. A place no one knows. A place no one remembers. Time passes in 1,000 different ways here. Days go by in a matter of seconds. Seconds go by for what feels like days. As it exists now, my life is a murky haze. I guess I'm used to it by this point. The more I'm here, the less this all bothers me. Not that I've got much left to be bothered about anyways. Well, there's one exception. In the Haven, no one talked about those who were taken away. Speaking about them was discouraged, and those who were removed had to be forgotten. Of course, this was easier said than done. If a friend or lover was lost, people went and yelled in secret. Once strong teams of creatives, architects, or researchers fell apart when a key member was taken away. Grief was groundwater running deep beneath the Haven, like Vigel, who had been lost, and Maria, who had been left behind. Losing Vigel had affected Maria deeply. She became distant and sad, all while carrying out the duties of a head, or pretending her best friend never existed. I keep on thinking about this. It must have been tough for her. I know it was. Wonder what Maria's doing now. She's still guiding everyone back in the art sect. Wonder how their projects are coming along. I hope she's still working on her own art, too. She stopped a while back to help members of the art sect with their projects. I hope she'll soon be able to make her own projects again. At least I know she'll always be bringing beauty to the Haven, even if I'm no longer there to appreciate it. I hope she doesn't forget me, even though she never understood my world. Even though she was harsh to me the last time we talked. I hope she knows that in the end. Never minded. I don't always care about her. I hope she's kept my sketches somewhere safe. But somehow she's preserved them. I might as well say it. I love Maria. Out loud, I mutter 3 words she'll never be around here. Never paint with her again. Never see her again. Never be with her again. My throat clenches. I whimper. I'm scared that she'll forget me. Marching footsteps draw toward my cell. Someone heard me cry out. Wherever they are, at least there'll be a distraction from this terrible twisting feeling in my gut. Or my eyes. The floor I look up and face. Saris. Great. What are you whining for? Do I have to find out for myself? A key rattles against the gate to my cell. Great. Here comes another round of punishment. Saris style. Oh, great. The gate finally creaks. Saris shoves it open and steps inside. She kneels in front of me, trying to look at me eye to eye. Force myself to give her eye contact. If I don't, she'll grab my face. Force me to stare at her. Come on, spit it out. What is up with you? I say nothing. Too tired for this crap as distracting as it is. Hey, you. Sarah shakes me. Head lolls back and forth. You listening to me or what? Don't spill within the next 3 seconds, I'll beat the shit out of you. Pulls back her fist, writing a blow to the head. Don't want to tell her. She doesn't deserve to know. 1. I tell her she'll rub it in my face. Call me names. Hurt me some more. 2. We're fighting a losing battle. No point in hiding, no matter how much I want to right now. She already knows. She probed my mind thousands of times. She's read my diary. She knows exactly what matters to me. 3. Maria. So, I'm not going to fight. I'm going to give her exactly what she wants. Maria, huh? You can't be serious. You still got a thing for her? After all this? After all you've been through? Let's get on with it. Oh, man. Ooh, man. Never change, huh? I can smack your face till you turn black and blue. Give about your hair. And feed your cafeteria scraps till you puke on the floor. Do everything in my power to correct you and your disgusting brain. Damn, you really are rotten to the core. And again, I shouldn't expect much from a freak like you. Yeah, I'm disgusting, rotten, a freak. Anything new you'd like to tell me? But you know, you seem pretty down today. You're kind of bad. So I'll tell you what. Be generous this time. How about a little update on how Maria's doing, huh? What? Your eyes just lit up. I knew you'd like that. So, Magda, listen hard and listen close, because I'm only going to tell this story once. Yesterday evening, I went by the Art Sect's building. Pretty typical evening, really. Just finished managing everyone in the writing sect. Everything was ticking along nicely, and I nearly put a pin in my latest and greatest piece. Oh, I'd love to tell you about the writing sect, actually. Under my tender care, so many young writers are blossoming right now. They've all got more talent in their pinkies than you've got in your entire body. I don't care. Get on with it. Oh, forgive me for making you grouchy. I just thought you'd be interested in what your own sect was doing. So I should get straight to the point, then. Anyways, I saw Maria right outside the art sect building. I was struggling to carry some huge black bag. Naturally, I had to ask my fellow sect heads all about it. And she told me that she was getting rid of the garbage lying about in the studio. Of course, I had to see what was inside. Not that I didn't trust Maria, but you know, I had to see if anything dangerous was there. So, safety first and all. It's a thing between us sect heads. Not that you'd know anything. And I believe it or not, she was more than happy to show me. She put the bag down and let me take a look through. I opened it. I found a whole bunch of sketches. Crumpled, stained, and ripped ones. Ones that had all sorts of colorful birds, beautiful flowers, and elegant trees on them. They were adorable. It's a real shame they were going in the garbage. Look at me that looks, Saris. Please tell me you're joking. Made that we had a good look at everything she was throwing away, in case anything caught my eye. Now, when I was sifting through the trash, I found one super cute sketch. I wanted it so badly. I asked Maria if it was okay to have. But if not, she let me keep it. Now I've got a nice little gift of my favorite liability. A souvenir from your old home, if you will. Here, catch. Sarah tosses a crumpled ball of paper at me. Without thinking twice, I open it on my lap. It's a sketch I did for my painting. Painstakingly penciled little birds have smudged against the tiny folded paper. The remain are small, shapeless blurs of graphite. Do you like it? I saw it and thought of you. My stomach twists. No, Sarah just wants a reaction out of me. She would never do that. She wouldn't. But eyes are still stinging. My throat's still coming up. Lips are still trembling. Why? Oh, you're crying. So you didn't like it? Well, that's okay. It happens. It'll make you feel better. Once again, when Sarah snatches my sketch away from my lap. Now this won't make you cry ever again. She brings the paper to my eye level, letting the drawing obscure her face. And then she tears it down the center. Sarah swears my drawing again, quartering it. Strips it again, dividing it into eighths. And again, and again, and again, and again, and again. All I can do is stare as she rips hours of work, days of planning, ages of thought and inspiration. All to crude confetti. She does remember something from long ago. Once Sarah snuck into the art section and stole my colored pencils. A few weeks after my first assembly. I hadn't been punished like she wanted. She was furious. So that she took it upon herself to punish me as she saw fit. This would be my first of many of her delayed punishments. The day after she stole my pencils, I learned that they went missing. I searched for them frantically. My niche, in my studio, on my work desk, everywhere. But they were nowhere to be seen. That evening she approached me, smirking. I figured she was responsible. The smug look on her face gave it away. I pretended to act ignorant and asked her if she knew where they were. Sarah said she didn't know. And she'd never even seen the pencils before. And through it all, she couldn't stop giggling to herself, snorting and chuckling like an idiot at her own bad joke, all while avoiding the eye contact she loved forcing me to give so much. I learned that Sarah was a terrible liar. Instead, I caught her fibbing again and again and again. I learned to be good at reading Sarah's. Right now, she hasn't laughed once. Gives me eye contact the entire time. So, she's... And I'm done. It's all gone now. Now be happy again, won't you? Sarah leans forward to pat my head mockingly. Sits back, adjusts her skirts, and stares. Face is blank. Eyes bore right into me. Freaks like you deserve to rot here. Keeping you in the haven would have been this dangerous for everyone. That's why I'm glad that sops like Maria learned to forget you. Sarah stands up again. Wipes her pristine sect-head uniform, letting a puff of dust fall into the cell floor. Ugh, prison dirt. Fucking gross. Without another word, she leaves and locks the cell door behind her. This has been a thoroughly depressing evening. Thank you. Please, if anyone can hear me, kill me. Do it now. I curl up into a tiny ball. The energy to cry anymore. The energy to do anything anymore. I'm going to be here, alone, forever. Slowly my breathing becomes shallow. Body grows heavy. My surroundings go dark. I don't want to wake up again. Magda? Hi. Here's something. No. Just my mind. It's Nils? Nothing. That's a Nils type. That's Nils voice font. Magda. Again. That voice. Definitely a voice here. Calling for me. But who? Magda. It's me. I know you can hear me. There's no doubt now. That voice. Voice that cuts through my hazy mind like a blade. That's the name sits at my tongue, waiting to be called. Nils? Oh. And as if suggested into existence, Nils emerges from the void of my mind. How long's it been? When did I even see them last? Are they? They're still beautiful, in that ethereal, celestial way. They look far worse. Their thick golden curls are one caked with blood. Skins tightly stretched over their bones with barely any suggestion of muscle. There are more cuts and bruises littered across their body. This is what they've been through all this time. Hey! You know, your lady restarted her experiments on me. She wanted me to be a better battery. She attached new wires to my back. When it all started, I was screaming in pain. Wanted you to save me. But you didn't come like you'd promised, like you said you would. Anyways, here we are, talking again. Seems I've reached the end of my road. And it seems that hag hurt you too. I don't respond. They're not wrong. Not at all. But, the more I think about it, the less I can come up with an excuse. Yeah, even though Ceres and Eve did this to me, Lady Amaris gave them their freedom to make me this way. Oh, Magda, you must feel so conflicted right now. After all this, after all you've been through. Conflicted doesn't even begin to cover it. I understand. I understand completely. All this abuse, it wears at your body, your soul. You never deserved any of this. I'm sorry, Magda. Think about Nils feels off. Their tone, their gestures, this visit itself. You know, they're all calculated moves. Nils knows I don't completely trust them. Yet, they still came to see me. The back of my unconscious. They sit on the verge of death, determining whether I should take the leap. So, why are you really here, Nils? Is it someone who didn't keep their promise with you? Why bother with this? You know you've got something on your mind. Something to do with me. You're a perceptive one, Magda. Yes, I have my own reasons for wanting to see you, despite you not keeping our promise. Need a favor from you. A favor that, should you accept, will ultimately help us both. At this point, I'll take anything. What is it? Well, I want you to break us out of here. How? I'm chained to a wall within a prison cell. I barely eat anything. I don't have enough energy to live, let alone escape. How could I help? Nils laughs weakly. Ah, that's where the fun part comes in. Magda, I'd like you to become one with me. If I siphon my soul into your body, then your strength should return, and then some. Ooh. Together we can escape. After that, we can do whatever we want, as long as our souls remain intact. I don't have any other option, do I? Don't accept we'll both die as prisoners with the life beaten out of us. If I do, I don't know. What will happen? What will happen if I share my body with someone inhuman? I was ready to die, ready to give up on everything. But now I've been given one last chance, one last way out, last way to be free, and I'll be able to do whatever I want. If this plan works, I think the rewards will be worth the risks. It's not like I have anything else to live for. Fine. I'll work with you. What do I need to do? Ah, excellent. I'm relieved you came round to it. It's simple, really. We'll form a covenant. Nils offers their hand to me. In the center of their palm, there's a gaping, bloody hole. Wonder if Lady Mars punched it through. Try to ignore the wound as I clasp their hand. Nils pulls me flush to their chest. You feel their firm embrace. Their formerly strong muscles. Their fading warmth. He whispers something into my ear. The words are mysterious. They're in an ancient language, one I can't speak, can't comprehend. I know that every word is filled with power. I can feel it. That's a cipher I'm not going to try to pronounce. It's likely a cipher that can be translated. Words are finished. Nils pulls back, releasing me. I dissolve into the darkness. Beautiful mirage fading away. And then, nothing. The betrayed the banished higher power. The banished. Is that it? Guess so. The banished higher power, the banished haven resident. Typical. Must have failed. Guess I should have expected this. Every time I've given a shred of hope, it's taken away from me at that very last moment. Hmm? Wait. My heart. It's stinging. Like there's a candle setting it alight. A soft tingling in the core of my body. It's a flame. It spreads to my chest, warming me gently. It's a fire. My torso is burning. I begin to sweat. It stings. Worse. Worse and worse and worse. It's an inferno. My entire body is set alight. Ah. Ah! 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 Oh god. It hurts, 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 it hurts. Oh, my body. Stop burning. A sheer number of memories flooding my brain. It feels like my body could burst. It could burst. It could burst. It will burst. It will burst. And yet, it doesn't burst at all. I'm awake. It's cold. It's dark. I'm still trapped in my cell. Our typeface has changed. But I can stand. So I do. Chain links that bind my ankle to the wall clink together. Try to raise my arms. Stretch them out. My injuries. My bruises, the ones Sarah's gave me. They're all gone. My legs don't ache anymore. Neither does my chest. All better. So, what do you think? Oh, hello, Nils. Yes, it's me. How do you feel now? A lot better, I imagine. Well, thank you. It's very thoughtful. Oh, there's no need for that. This covenant was always going to be my last resort. I'm glad you made it possible. Now, give your manacles a little tug, won't you? I do as I'm told. I expect to feel only the clinking resistance of my cuffs and chains. After all, I am working with my bodily strength. It won't get me out of here. As soon as I pull the end of the chain that pins me to the wall, the bolt that it's secured to budges. Then the gentle flick of my ankles, the bolt is torn from the wall. What the... So you did receive my powers. Wonderful. Just wonderful. I was worried your weak little body wouldn't be able to handle them. Now getting out of here will be so much easier. Aren't you excited? Yeah. Thank you, Nils. Thank you. You see, Magda? When us loners stick together, everything works out. Now why don't you get us out of this awful place once and for all? Right. You're right. Let's make a break for it. Oh, here we go. Finally, I walk to the inner cell door and pull it open. The door rips off. Its hinges unpinned for the door frame. What's left between me and the world is the outer gate. I grab the iron bars, sliding my hands in between the gaps. With a quick twist of my wrists, the bars are wrenched apart as easily as copper wires. I lean out and look around. No one's patrolling. No one will see me. Quietly, I slip outside the confines of my cell. But this newfound freedom makes me freeze. What should I do next? Where should I go now? Who should I be? I never considered a future beyond the prison behind me. And now, now that I'm outside, rendered helpless by the vast possibilities before me. Magda? Magda? Magda! Snap out of it. Get yourself together. You can't stay here. If we linger any longer than we should, we'll be caught. Besides, I've got somewhere we can go. So, let me get there and we can figure out everything else later. I sense the urgency in Nils' voice, as well as an inherent, studied understanding of the place we're in. Of course they'd know. They were trapped here for a very long time. It's no surprise they'd know this place like the back of their hand. Alright then, let me show you the way. First, you need to take a right and go down that corridor. Stop when I tell you to. Nils' directions lead me to a large, winding staircase. The shape, orientation, material are all painfully familiar. The very same stairs I used to visit them down in their lab. My stomach drops as I look up. I've been up these stairs before, and yet right now, they seem insurmountable. And if I do have my strength back, running to the top floor would still take a lot of time. And, knowing Lady Morris, the defenses on this place might have changed while I was in prison. Now there could be cameras, could be taped, tracked. Well, that might have already happened, so there may be people on their way to catch us again, or, oh, Magda, you and your anxiety. There's no reason to be worried. I have a faster method, if you're up for it. Oh, punch walls, punch walls. Alright, what do you have in mind? Remember that dream I sent you? One with a stargate and the beautiful sunrise. One where you saw me heading down to Earth. Want to try something? I don't question them. I do as I'm told and close my eyes. Sprout wings! Give Magda wings. I imagine the great expanse of purple, pink, and orange. Sky brilliantly burning with a beautiful sunrise. Remember Nils soaring through that expanse. Beautiful white wings. Their golden hair whipping around. Their proud, confident smile. Once again I pretended one of their feathers. Let it in air. Carried about by the powerful wind. Free to travel where I wish. There's a whoosh. My surroundings go cold. Body feels like something is lifting me up. Lifting me further. More than it should. Put my eyes before I know it. Oh! I'm hurtling toward the sky at breakneck speed. The little gray building is far below me. The forest concealing it is far below me. The island is far below me. Already I feel myself slowing down. My heart jumps into my throat. Any moment I expect gravity to right the wrongness of me being up so high. Any moment I'll be pulled downwards. And my body will smash into a bloody pulp on the forest floor. But I don't fall. Something's holding me up. Wings, 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 wings. Keeping me airborne. Something large and powerful and light. I look upwards. She got wings, she got wings, she got wings. Holy shit! 2 large wings are sprouting from my head. Ooh. Head wings. When I said my powers came with me, I did mean all of them. Now, you can fly. And we can go wherever we please with nary a care in the world. Thank you, Nils. Seriously. The world is kinder than the Haven would lead you to believe. We soar for a while, taking in the sights, looking at the horizon, at everything beyond the Haven. The sun is setting. Darkness begins to cover the land and water all around me. Never seen a dusk like this before. Then, Nils asks me a sudden question. Magda? Would you like to see who you are now? I nod. Closing my eyes again, Nils takes over. Their soul makes my body dive down to the vast lake surrounding the Haven. I feel the spray of something cool and wet gently tickling my feet. I open my eyes. I'm hovering above the vast, clear waters of the lake. For the first time in what had felt like an eternity, I can finally see my own reflection. Oh? Blonde-haired? My hair's white. The whites of my eyes are black and my pupils are red. And of course, there are the wings. That too. Pale and stretched out wide in their full glory. Spanning a length far greater than that of my own body. Look at how beautiful we are. I think this appearance suitably reflects the power of our union. Don't you? Wow, it really does. Yeah, it does. The shell of my body is my own, but the parts, the powers, the colors are from Nils. We're one being. One entity made from 2. We'd love to see it. 2 entities made into one. A union. A marriage. Embodied coexistence. I don't think Magda can describe this new existence, this new person. Magda meant high tower. It was a name that pedestaled those named within it. Those named with it. That elevated them to greater heights in their world. Magda never suited me as I always was, as I am now. So I need a new name for my new existence. What would that be? What would you like to call the you see before you? Who are you? Lilia? Yeah, I want to be Lilia. Like the flower. One that's always beautiful. That's always loved for being itself. Nils gasped softly. Lilia. What a pretty name. And a fitting one, too. Name yourself after a flower that's as white as your hair. I think Lilia deserves to be loved for who she is. Oh, Lilia, what would you like to do next? Though Nils no longer has a body, I can feel them giving me an expectant smirk. They're waiting for an answer from me. Well, what would Lilia want to do? What would they want to do? That she has far more power and freedom than she ever dreamed of. I've got an idea. Their beatings, their harassment, their abuse, all justified, ignored. The lessons they never learned, cruelty they saved just for me. The karma building up that never seemed to reach them. I could fix that. I could fix that right now. Why don't we give Saris and Eve a visit? I think I want to give your powers a little test drive. Oh boy. I'm going to become a violent friend? Does that sound exciting? Oh my. Oh my. How delightful. Oh, truly, utterly delightful. Lilia? They roll my new name delectably. Clearly they like what I'm thinking. Well, I think that's a wonderful idea. After all, I have my own unfinished business with the Haven. So, what are we waiting for? They deserve a pound of flesh. Firmly extracted. For the flesh. For the physical flesh they took from Nils, and the mental flesh they took from Magda. They took from Magda. We are no longer that Magda. What are we waiting for? Let's have some fun. Yes, let's. Light chuckle, we soar back to the island. Really curious. Oh, Saris, I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you've been keeping well. Oh, hey, Eve. Yeah, I'm all good. Been a pretty average week for me. To be honest, though, being ahead's a lot of work. Well, paperwork, meetings, and the discipline. Such a pain in the ass sometimes. Well, it does take some getting used to, I'm afraid. Yeah, fair. I haven't done this as long as you, but you and I both know that I'll catch up. You know me, Eve. Before I was promoted, I was the most hardworking member of my sect. I joined through 6 major pieces in a year. That's not counting all the editing, help, and advice I gave other writing sect members. Oh no, absolutely. Still though, becoming a sect head is a major change of pace. Remember when I first became the head of the research sect? I was so young. When you were appointed, everyone was shocked. Me included. You were literally a teenager. No one that young had ever been appointed a head before. But, wasn't like the head before you was great. The other sect members were trying to cope with her clusterfuckery. You got along with them real well. True. She was so disorganized I ended up directing the workflow and projects for that year. I had to do something about it. Otherwise, everyone in the sect would have been lost. I'm almost glad she was taken away. After the other heads found her stashes of smuggled books. Good riddance, bitch. Absolutely. Looking for someone who could handle that intense work, though, stressed Lady Amaris out. I think Lady Amaris heard about your reputation within the research sect. Back then, people said you and your team literally saved the sect from collapsing. I'm 99% certain she picked up on your strong work ethic and camaraderie with your fellow Timbers. In the end, that's why I came round to her choice. Your age didn't matter, but your contributions to the Haven did. Yes, hardworking community loyalty leads to prosperity. In fact, my sect still remains efficient, productive, and totally in favor of my leadership style. Alright, so with all that said, there were many other research sect members who were critical to maintaining its work. We had amazing researchers who could read double the material of any other girl within a day. Scientific report writers who could easily and vividly communicate our ideas. Creative thinkers who thought of new, exciting ways to teach and protect the Haven. All these talented women were critical to supporting our projects, to making everything work, to keeping everything organized. They would have made excellent candidates for the head position, yet not surprised that I, out of everyone else, was still chosen. As to the Haven, well, you know, Saris. What the ones who aren't us are like. We share the same sentiments about them. Why? Most of them will go insane sooner or later? Yeah, that makes sense. I guess Lady Morris had no choice but to pick you. Wow, you're the perfect head candidate for the research sect. Perfect stooge. Intelligent, organized, and resistant to all forms of insanity. That thing's not common in this community at all. If you threw a band comic at a crowd here, I guarantee you 95% of the girls within it would take a peek inside. Only a few of us here would have the willpower to ignore it. I guess that makes us special, huh? Yes, special. That's what we are. And best this island has to offer. Heh. Yeah, we totally. Oh, here we go. What was that? Sarah, shh. Stay. Very still. Are we being watched? That, don't know. Okay, I think we're all clear. Oh, thank God. Must have been a small animal. Probably nothing serious. And no one in this community would stalk others. They wouldn't dare. Especially not their sect heads. I mean, the punishments are severe. If someone was eavesdropping right now, I would have spat! Saris? Saris! Huh? What? What happened? You alright? Ah! Ooh! Give us the juicy details here, though. What? What? Who is that? Ah. Mm-hmm. Ah. My body hurts. There are cuts everywhere. Where am I? And why do I feel so stiff? What? What's happening to me? Mm. Ah. I can barely see. It's dark out. There's no candles, no lighting anywhere. No sign of haven, trails, or buildings anywhere. Must be somewhere remote. But there's a feeling of cool air all around me. If I look up, I can see broad black branches. The dark sky above. A small sliver of the moon. I'm in the middle of the forest? What? What am I doing here? How did I get here? Where did Saris go? Is she all right? Got to go to find her. Saris? Saris? Hmm? Ah! I can't move. I can't move at all. I'm I'm trapped. Am I tied down? Need to get out of here. Escape. Find Saris. Regroup. Got to find knots, undo them, run into the forest, and return to the haven. Somebody in my sect is bound to have noticed that I'm gone missing. Don't know what they'd do if I wasn't there. And Saris. Need to find her. Can't lose a head now. How will the fighting sect survive otherwise? More importantly, I've got to find out who did this. Who dared to threaten us, their trusted leaders. Who deserves punishment. But I can't think of anyone in our community that would do this. Who love us. The other heads love us. Lady Morris loves us. So who? Who does such a thing? Hello? Been a while, hasn't it? It's a lovely evening tonight. Aren't the stars beautiful? Oh, that's just a beautiful sight. Love this. Don't know the person standing in front of me. Never seen anyone like them. Their hair is white. Their eyes are red. There are tufts of feathers where their ears should be. No human has ever looked like this being. And yet I feel like I've seen them before. The curve of their jawline, the shape of their eyes, their body, their hair, their voice. They all bother me. I feel like I should know them. I should recognize those features. Oh, look, you're thinking again. Tell me, what are you thinking about? What you plan to do when you head back home? What you leave for breakfast tomorrow? What extra work needs doing? Or maybe, who's trapping you? Where you are, Eve? Where Saris is? Eve? Saris? How'd you know? My, her, our names? Oh, that got your attention. I know a lot, Eve. Maybe even more than you do. I can see you're concerned about your dear friend. Don't worry, I know where she is. In fact, I'm more than happy to show you. It was just like watching a private movie. How about it? Lump forms in my throat. Cheer in their voice feels forced. Questions, remarks, they're all hinting at something. Something deeper, something sinister. Being extends their hands to my face. Their palms cover my eyes, shutting out what little light is present here. Their calloused flesh sits rough against my skin. Here you go. Just for you. A special moment with your dear friend. Once again, my vision goes black. Oh, baby. Oh, wake up in a room in front of a flickering projection. A faint square of white light, empty of imagery. There's nothing on it yet. The room's silent, save for whirring of a projector behind my head. Just like the research sex film room. Ready to screen a movie tape. I hear a familiar click. A film has been loaded into the projector. I don't know who loaded it. With a click, and the film begins. I see Saris. unconscious, asleep, tied to a tree in the middle of the forest, just like me except for the time of day. The dimming, honey-gold sunset makes everything visible. Hey, groggily she wakes up. As she gathers her bearings, she grows more and more panicked. She screams of anger, but of fear. She wants to be found, wants to be saved. This white being appears from the undergrowth. Slowly they walk in front of her, smile sweetly, lean down. Ceres is frozen, terrified. There's something in her ear. Can't tell what it is. Smile for the camera. The more they speak, the more Ceres shakes and struggles to free herself. Ceres finds the knots at the back of the tree, latches a hand onto one and begins tugging it forward. If she times herself right, she can free herself and run back home. But the knot makes its way to her front. Being punches her in the face. Hard. Ceres is momentarily stunned. Shakes it off. Takes a deep breath. Slowly she turns toward her captor, gritting her teeth. The projection pauses. Ceres is frozen mid-grimace on the screen. Our captor walks in front. The image of Ceres' face distorts over their pale, thin body. They give me a broad grin. So sorry for the interruption, Eve. I noticed you had trouble hearing what I was saying to Ceres. It's entirely on me. I forgot to turn up the volume earlier. Don't worry, you didn't miss much. This is where things get good. So please, take a listen. You bend down and tweak something underneath the projector machine. Before standing up and walking away. And the film resumes. What the fuck did you just do to me? How dare you hit me? How dare... Be quiet. Honestly, mind your manners. Will you tell me how to behave? You're in the Haven. I have authority here. I write the rules for this island. I know what's right and what's wrong better than anyone else. I get to... Oh, Ceres. Ceres. Is that how a leader should act? How a respected community leader should behave? Lording her power over everyone else out loud? Oh, but you can't help it, can you? How do you know my... Questions. Quit asking so many damn questions. You don't deserve to know. Know who I am. Know why I'm here. Know what's going to happen to you. Because you're a fucking jerk. Because deep down you love to hurt people. Because you love to shove people around, insult them, and intimidate them. Because you want to be better than everyone else. Because despite how cruel you are to others, your stupid little community never punishes you for it. In fact, they reward you. Your people egg you on, give you more tools to abuse others. Always tell you that you're right, even when you fucking aren't. The sickening crunch every time their fist connects with Ceres' jaw. Nose. Her mouth. She tries to scream, but a hand shoots out to press on her throat, muffling it down into a strangled cry. Punches don't stop. They hit again, and again, and again, harder and harder. Blood begins to taint their delicate yet punishing hand. Muscle and bone start to peek through the newly bruised. Particularly hard hit hands, and a tiny white tooth flies out. Then another. Then yet another. God damn! Ceres' captor stops. They step back, pausing to look at their handiwork. Ooh! Her face is now a bloody mess. She's barely recognizable. That explains why Lilia's dress was streaked with blood when they came for Eve. You know, Ceres, you may be tolerated in this world. This world isn't the whole world. You know what most of the world would call you for acting like this? Those insane people that you love to ridicule. A bully. That's all you'll ever be, Ceres. A jealous bully who takes out her anger on everyone else. And you know what bullies like you deserve. With one hand, the being slams Ceres' head against the tree she's bound to. Ceres lets out a guttural howl of pain. They ball their other hand into a fist and raise their thumb. A mocking gesture of approval. This. They thrust their thumb into Ceres' eye socket and begin to twist it. God. Oh, God. My throat's burning with bile. I think I'm going to vomit. Can't watch this. This is awful. Can't stand. I have to get out of here. No one said you could leave, Eve. My body won't leave my seat. My captor wrenches my head forward, back to the projection. Ooh. Hello. The being has extracted their prize. Ceres' eyeball, glistening and wet, with nervous tissue, muscle, and blood. cupped in their hand. Time to sink with Ceres. Turned around with longing, reverent affection like a sacred relic. How gorgeous. Utterly gorgeous. What a shame this belonged to someone like you. But have no fear. I'll take the other one off you too. Soon it'll all be over. With that, the being scrunches their hand again, lifts their thumb, shoves it into Ceres' other socket. Cool. Ceres shrieks. I can't look away. Miss every single second of its removal. The noises, the sights, the sensations. A dear friend being blinded and beaten to a pulp. I puke on my lap. Ugh. I can't concentrate anymore. What did I do to deserve this? Surely this can't be real. Someone wake me up. Get me out of this awful nightmare. Oh, quit worrying. You'll miss the finale. And we can't have that, Eve. Gaze is locked onto the projection once again. Vomit all over my uniform, I await the final scene, unable to look away. Bright blood dribbles down Ceres' mouth and neck. All she can do is gurgle unintelligibly. Being slowly draws back, a fist closed around something, hand dripping with gore. Their fingers clasp around the item with their other hand and draw it out. A fleshy, wet organ appears, dangling like a prime cut of meat. Oh, God! They bring the flesh up to their mouth. Nibble. Then bite. Then chew. They chew on Ceres' tongue like tuck shop candy, savoring each bite, licking their lips with delight. The last well-tasted morsel disappears into their mouth as quickly as it was taken. Dusting off their hands, the being walks off, stained in rust, brown and red. Ceres remains behind in the distance, a mutilated lump of flesh left to slowly bleed to death. I hear another loud click. The projection stops and the room disappears. There's light. I can see again. I find myself in a shed outside the architectural sex building, surrounded by crafting tools, right next to the old wood chipper used for scrapping old projects. Oh, hello. It's lovely to have you back. Didn't you enjoy that little show? It was exciting, wasn't it? Bet you felt like you were missing out. Don't worry, it's your turn with me now. Before we begin, though, need to make a few arrangements. Oh no, please don't. Please don't hurt me. Unless something remains to escape. Outside, through the window, it's dawn. No one's there. As Gray started managing the architectural sect, early hours were abolished. Why would anyone be there? God help me. Wow, you look excited already. It's a shame that your surprise will be far more brief than Ceres's. I'm sure we'll savor every moment we share together. Shall we take the chipper for a test run? The captain presses the wood chipper switch. With a series of sputters, mechanical whirs, and roars, the machine comes alive. The dial is set to maximum speed. Nearby, the being takes out a folder from the tool shelf. In one fluid gesture, they open it and draw out its contents. A stack of papers. Wait. Those? I thought your papers would be perfect for this little test drive. I mean, they're so easy to shred. No, hang on. Those papers are precious to me. I've worked on them for months. You clearly don't know the value of hard labor, the impact these documents have had. My captors listen to my screams. They open up one of the papers, my seminal work on sect organization that influenced head practices to this day. They're ignoring me. Let's see, what do we have here? Oh my. Can't read any of this. It's just meaningless, wordy drivel. And you call yourself the head of the research sect. You couldn't even teach the youngest members here with this crap. Shame on you. Well, there you go then. I'm sure no one will miss this. After all, its folder was pretty dusty. Without a care, they tossed my paper into the wood chipper. As my life's work is scrapped, the machine gives a metallic shriek. Out of the machine comes pale puffs of shredded paper. They're too small to piece back together. All my efforts, all my pride, turned into unsalvageable confetti, like into a stare. Now you know what it feels like. What it stings to lose everything that defined you, that made you proud, made you beloved. And now, for the main event. I've heard the Haven is dealing with a lot of bullshit right now. Let's deal with the source for it all. The being grabs me, still tied up, and brings me over to the machine. They dangle me into the wide, gaping opening and its tap. Deadly gears within whir rapidly, waiting my imminent arrival. Wait on this instant! Let me go! Why are you doing this? I don't even know who you are. What problem could you possibly have with a researcher trying to better her own community? Oh, so you still haven't figured it out. You, the smartest person in the Haven. Wow. The bar must really be on the floor here. Again, the uncomfortable familiarity of their voice burns in the back of my head. Their body. Their face. Where had I seen it before? Hey, Eve. Do you remember making somebody's life absolute hell? Hurting her for fun while pretending it was your duty all along. Setting for punishment as soon as you could. As you never believed in her to start with. Leaving her to rot. Forgotten by everyone else. Eve. What did you have against Magda all this time? Ah! No. No wonder you seem familiar. Explains everything. The body. The face. The insanity. All hers. All unforgettable. Magda. I promise. I swear. I'll cross my heart and say it again and again and again. If you spare me now, I'll leave you be forever. I mean this sincerely. I can't die just yet. My community needs me. I have to be there for them, Magda. And besides, there's no reason for you to stay here. You're no longer a part of this world, remember? And you're right. I don't plan on coming back here. I'm going to leave this stupid island once and for all. But you know, something about you always bothered me. Such a good study, you never questioned the boundaries of the world that confines you. Who set them? Why they existed in the first place. All you did was obey Lady Amaris and punish people indiscriminately. Destroyed people who had done no tangible harm to the Haven itself. What kind of scholar are you? I had my fun with you and Saris, but I'm bored now. Let's get something straight. You're an egotistical hypocrite. Just won't admit it. Now, let's get this over with. I've got other things I need to do. Goodbye. Ah! No, wait! Wait! Please stop! Stop, Magda, please stop the blades! They hurt. They hurt! Ah! Ah! Oh! Ah! Ah! Eve's legs twitched wildly as she shrieked. Now as the machine chokes on her torso, her limbs have gone limp, dripping over the lip of the opening. Chunks of gore lie trapped between the blades. A smashed eyeball spread on a knife edge. The remains of his stomach, contents poured everywhere. A coil of an intestine, woven in between the teeth of the gears. I never this has gone... Wow. She's gone. She's really gone. I did it. I did it. They're finally gone. Thank you, Nils. Thank you. Thank you for letting me experience this wonderful, satisfying feeling. Letting me be free. Helping me fall in love with my impulses, my deep desires. It feels so good to finally listen to myself. Nils says nothing. And sends them here with me, but only faintly. Maybe they're tired. It was so much fun. And cathartic, too. And I want more. This isn't enough. Oh no. I need to find another. Another to play with. We are spiraling out of control. Another to share my misery with. But who? Who will be next? Not Grace. Oh, I know. It's gonna be Grace, isn't it? If I looked hard enough through these windows, then maybe I'll be able to find her. Never seen the head apartments. I don't know what I'm looking for. I passed by 2 vacant rooms. One room is filled with instruments and measurements. Old yellow drawings of a team on a corkboard. A few thank you letters pinned nearby. The other filled with a library of books and a stack of scribbled-on drafts. Fan letters tacked up all along the bed frame so a nearby shelf of tea lights would hit words of gushing admiration just right. Somehow I knew that both rooms would remain empty. Ah, there's her little name placard on the inside next to her robes. Must be her dorm. I slipped through the window quietly. She should be there. Yeah, she'll definitely be there. Sleeping. Enjoying a rest she long went without. Getting through the window was easier than I thought. That barred my entry was a set of soft floor curtains. They swished at me helplessly. Thought the head gnomes would be more guarded than this. This is the haven we're talking about. Most people wouldn't dare to enter anyone's unlocked room, let alone a head's apartment. Alright, what do we have here? Look around the room. It's far more plain than I imagined. But still, it's certainly more comfortable than the standard haven fare. Except for the luxuries afforded to those lucky enough to be a sect head. A private bathroom, a cubicle, a small study. I feel like this is going to go through Lady Amaris. Grace, then Lady Amaris. Good God. Oh hey, it's old Renpai saves. Hello. Dollies decorate most of the tables. Little potted plants sit on every surface, perfectly watered and blooming with health. Framed photographs of other members adorn the walls. Painted portrait of Lady Amaris sits over the fireplace. Underneath a particularly elegant bouquet sits on the mantel. Catch sight of a door and peek through. There's the foot of a bed and a row of neatly arranged slippers. Right, that's it. Bedroom. I enter the bedroom. 2 windows open up to a beautiful view of the forest and a small garden. Everything, as with all the other rooms in this apartment, is neat. A perfect little pocket of tranquility. I look over to the bed. A knitted quilt and simple white sheets cover a small figure. She lies there, fast asleep. She looks so peaceful. Grace, I wonder, if you're having a nice dream right now, I think your room is more comfortable than the dorm we once shared. Do you miss the company? My company? Our friendship? I wonder how easy it would be to hurt you. How I'd make you suffer. Like Eve. Like Ceres. Your neck might snap if I grabbed it and pressed hard. The sound if you choked. Right there. It's in my grasp. I could just wrap my hands around you, grip tight, squeeze at that vulnerable little throat. Push it like... Wakes up. Magda? She sounds on the verge of tears. Her voice chokes up as she utters that name. Despite the relative comfort she lives in, she turns around, face down on the pillow, with the soft fabric tighter. She was trying to cling onto something. She's shaking. What the fuck was I thinking? This isn't... This won't help at all. Oh God. Oh my God. Oh God, oh God, oh God. She's about to kill Grace? Need to get out. Now. My skin's going all bumpy. I'm sweating all over. My hands are shaking. It's sinking in what I've done. What I was about to do. It's all sinking in. No. Symbols is back there. They weren't mine. Oh dear, I'm not violent, not normally. My own, I never would have thought to do that to Grace. It wasn't like this, I would have never done that. But I don't want to go back. Oh God, I don't want to go back. Need to get off this island, thief. Oh, for crying out loud. Nils? Why did you kill that human? Didn't she hurt you like the others, those 2 other women? Why didn't you punish her? I can't do it. I can't kill her. She didn't do anything. I think I should... She didn't do anything, my ass. She turned you in your diary. She didn't do anything to stop Ceres and Eve from hurting you. He didn't comfort you or make anything better. All she did was act nice to you and be a half-decent roommate, unlike literally everyone else in this godforsaken place. They're right. She did the bare minimum. For heaven's sake, she sided with the jackasses you killed instead of you, her friend. I'm sorry, Nils, I couldn't. I froze up. For some reason, the thought of hurting her didn't feel right. Didn't feel like I wanted it to. I mean, I wanted to hurt her. Really did. I wanted her to feel what I felt. Pain of being watched and hurt in the most intimate, most personal, the absolute safest place you know. I tried, You didn't go through with it. No, you couldn't go through with it. Shame. But your decisions are your own, I suppose. Oh, respect. Just stop crying already. I need to get to work soon. Take care of my own business. But you're going after Amaris, aren't you? Please tell me you're not done. You don't want to see someone, don't you? I... Actually, yes. There's one more person I want to see. And get to it. It's close to morning already. I only have so much patience left. Right, here we are. This building. I haven't seen it in ages. I haven't been inside since forever ago. I wonder if she's still there. Painting by herself. Drawing out new projects. Hoping to set up for the day. I guess there's only one way I'll find out. Rooms don't look any different. Just empty. Walk by each studio, peering in as I go. No one is there. Sketches, sculptures, notes all lie around, untouched. The atmosphere is calm and quiet. I continue down the main corridor till I see a familiar door. Ah, here it is. The main studio. Easels are all where I remember them being. Work is carried on as usual. The space that was once mine has now been occupied by the elaborate project of a new member. My former easel is an illustration. A crowd of uniformed girls surrounding Lady Morris. They're listening to her, raising their hands in admiration and deference. Roll my eyes. Middle of the room, all alone. She sits, the one I'm looking for. Maria. She's quiet, almost in thought, brush in hand. She pauses and lifts the brush to her piece, a piece I cannot see. Move closer. Oh, it's the piece that we did. It's a beautiful nature scene. It can't be anything else but beautiful. We just knew that Maria was the most talented artist on the island. Brushstrokes are delicate, deftly and carefully placed like luxurious embroidery. Can't look away. It's too masterful. What if she's planning to exhibit this somewhere? The effort is astounding. But something about this painting disturbs me. Something about this piece is achingly familiar. I've seen this image before. A long time ago. Flowers. Birds. Tree. Those flowers. Those birds. A tree. Hang tight. Sorry about that. That brief interruption. But alas, that was work calling. Flowers, the birds, that tree. Ah, where? Have I seen them all before? Would I recognize them? The colors, species, patterns, the shapes and composition. Are they so familiar? Why? 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 Oh, it's mine. It's all mine. My concept, my ideas, my notes. And Maria took them for her own work. Maria, of all people. I could see it as more of a tribute than a bad faith theft. I to tell her that I'm here. She needs to know that I'm still alive. I'm free. I got a lot of questions for her. About her painting. About what Sarah said to me in that prison cell. How she sees me now. I don't really care what she says. Whether she cared about me or not. I just wanted to hear her one last time. Before I leave here forever. So I'll ask her. Reach out and ask her. Ask her right now. Maria. No response. She still paints, shading in grass around the roots of the tree. She's half asleep. I think it's past midnight now. She might be on autopilot. Let's try again. Maria? Hello? It's me, Magda. Do you remember me? Still nothing. Not even a jolt of recognition. Maria continues to paint away at the blades of grass, drawing in each little flower, each little tuft of leaves. Walk around to check if she's all there. I've never seen someone more awake. Eyes blinking, focused on the canvas. Paused in thought. She hardly looks tired. Just wave my hands in front of her. She'll budge then. Maria, it's me, Magda. Remember? Oh, she looked. She's trying to ignore. I imagine she doesn't want to really have a conversation after everything that Sarah's flung out there from Magda's diary. She didn't notice. Her eyes followed my hand. She knew I was there, but she's still sitting there, painting like nothing had happened. Like I was the air in the room. Visible. Ah, okay. I see. I know what this is. She can't see me. It's just that she doesn't want to. That she refuses to see me. In other words, she's pretending I don't exist. So, this is what Sarah's meant. She's pretending she's never met me. She never guided me. She never cared about me in the first place. So why would throwing away my art or stealing my concepts matter? As far as she's concerned, they've materialized out of thin air, out of her own inspiration. Ah. Just stinging again. I can't believe this. Can't fucking believe this. Your work inspired me. You were so kind to me even when everyone else hurt and isolated me. Maria, I loved you so much. So why, after everything you've seen and felt, why would you just be like them? Fine then. Maria doesn't want to care, then she doesn't need to. Just leave now. Nothing left of me here. Go and restart my life. Something out along the way. Good riddance. So what's the hold-up? Let's go. Got a long distance to cover across the lake. Step away from Maria and turn to the door, ready to leave. I have to get Nils on board with my plan. You need to help me take flight. So I need them to let me go. Nils wants to kill Morris. Nils? Nils? Are you there? Ready to leave? Ready to go if you are. I'm sick of this already. I'm sick of you already. What's with you and your cowardly behavior? She hurt you just like the other girl. Why'd you let her get away with it? Why aren't you doing anything about it? I know she hurt me, but hurting her back wouldn't be satisfying. Just start over somewhere else. Oh, quit lying to yourself. You enjoyed killing Saris and Eve earlier. Wasn't making them feel your pain satisfying? To be honest, I don't know. In the moment it sure was. I did like it at first, but the more I think about it, the more I doubt these violent impulses are just my own. Nils, I need you to stop. There's nothing more for us in this place. I don't feel comfortable doing any more than we did. Let's just go. Fine. I'll take over from here. Didn't ask for you to take full control, Nils. Did you forget? We both have stakes in this. I have my own errands to run on this island. This isn't just about you anymore. I have a terrible feeling about this. They're thinking. They're planning. Can't let them take over. When they do something awful, I just know it. I need them to stop whatever they're doing. I can let go of my faculties now, but Nils violently shoves my consciousness to the side. Theirs is stronger, more powerful, more dominant. I struggle, but there's little use. They now have full command of my body. Now, since you're too weak to do it, I'll help you. Let me to demonstrate a proper revenge. Nils' leg swivels around, bringing me to the center of the studio. Body takes a janky step forward. And another. And another. I mechanically walked all the way back. I get closer to Maria. And closer. And closer. Can't stop them. They stand behind Maria, who still doesn't notice us, who still works diligently at her canvas. And then, with one violent stab, they jam their hand into Maria's chest. Well, Maria lets out a choked cry. Her paintbrush drops. Life flutters out of her eyes. Nils gives a quick tug and pulls something out. Something muscly, red, and throbbing. His heart. Oh, fuck, they ripped out Maria's heart. But she's really... I've thought about killing a human like this for so long. It feels so warm, so wet, so delicate. I've longed to do it, to feel their weak little organs struggle in my hands, like mine did in theirs. But you know, I've always wondered something. How does a human heart taste? Oh boy. Please don't do it. Put her heart back. Body B, come now, be a little adventurous. I know you've lived on an island all your life. It's time you tried something new. So here's to you, Lilia, to your newfound rage. Disgusting confidence, they raised the organ high like a celebratory drink. The flesh is promptly brought to their lips. With hesitation, the heart is crammed into my mouth so densely that I can barely breathe. I'm forced to savor it. I taste the metallic fluid as it smears across my lips and trickles down my throat. They force me to chew, to break up the muscle, to tear it to shreds with my teeth. I hate how good it tastes. This has been a thoroughly disturbing evening. Humans say that revenge is this dish best served cold. For me, that's too long a wait. I always like mine straight from the source, warm and raw, don't you? I don't want to answer them. Try to puke. Get her flesh out of mine. To stop consuming her, Nils forces me to swallow. Closes my throat to force it down. Keeps it in my belly, where I can't take it out. Can't control my own body anymore. Nils has taken over. Made another terrible mistake. I trusted a monster who never understood humans to begin with. I'd been kind once. I'd have tried to care. I guess my gut was right. Their suffering had made them mad. Well, coming back here to exercise Lilia's revenge was probably the mistake. They were a monster waiting to be unleashed from their dark prison underground. But I freed them. They own my body forever. They can do what they please. Harm anyone they wish. Kill anything they want. I barely recall what Nils does next. Drowning in the dark of Nils, crammed into their subconscious. Trying to keep my head above the waves. My mind bobs up and down. It's all burning. There's fire everywhere. Screams and cries that pierce my ears. Buildings reduced to ashes. Blood on my, Nils' hands. Snapped bones. Torn stomachs. Taste of flesh. I hear Nils speaking. Lady Mara screaming at them, begging them to stop. They boast of their freedom. Their determination to raise the haven to the ground. Their intent to kill her as painfully as possible. All in my voice. I don't see what Nils does to Amaris. I lose consciousness fast. All I see is the aftermath. A mass of pulpy, beaten flesh and bone. The sting of our hands. Ribbons of intestine torn open and thrown around. But even Ceres had been beaten this hard. I lose consciousness again. Come back. We're hovering above the island. Look down. It's a ruin. The forest has been razed. Smoke billows everywhere. Corpses carpet the ground like seeds. The sanctuary known as the Haven has finally been destroyed. Nils huffs proudly. Ah, I haven't felt this good forever. You have no idea how long I've wanted to do this. Making that hog suffer. Making your whole world suffer after they used me and ate me. And now, I get to go wherever I want. I'm not beholden to anyone. You believe it, Lilia? I'm going to save everyone. I finally know how to save all of humanity. Oh, this is concerning. There's no way I'll fail. Because if they refuse me, if they try to hurt me again, I'll know just how to treat them. Just like I treated everyone on this island. Ah. You've had your fun. Quit gloating. Oh, Magda. Want to do something? Got a plan? A vision? A dream? Oof. They just dead-named us. I don't know. Want to go somewhere. Anywhere. Don't care. I just need to get out. To leave. Can't be here anymore. Nils helped me fly further into the sky. With alarming speed, my body is lifted into the air. I try not to look back. Have they given us control back? Our beautiful transcendence is now stained thickly with blood. Probably irrevocably. Don't know where I'm going, what I'll do when I get there. Don't know if anyone's left on this island. Any survivors. Anyone who knew what I did. Don't know whether Nils will turn on me. Whether I'll be able to fight them off. Whether we'll enter some wretched coexistence. I know one thing. Deaths I brought about, willingly or not. Death of the Haven and the safety it offered to so many. Death of the island itself. I'll be haunted by them forever. By everyone that led to them. By everyone who made it happen. By everything I was then. By the nothing I am now. Most of all, the knowledge that I'll never escape what I did for as long as I live. Oh, wow. That was a ride. Hold on, my matter. Art was, of course, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Utterly terrifying. I mean this in the best possible way, Battle. That was a miserable experience. Thank you. That was thoroughly depressing. From start to finish. Even when we got our freedom, our hegemony, and came back for our revenge. It was thoroughly miserable. It's thoroughly miserable. It was satisfying for like the first few hits and torture. And then it very clearly went overboard, and that's the point, isn't it? Like, it was very clearly, intentionally overblown. It was never going to be good. Oh? What's this? All around me, the world is burning. Buildings I once lived in, burning. Forests I once walked through, burning. People I lived with, burning. Corpses as far as the eye can see. Faces are contorted in silent screams of agony. Oh, by sheer luck I managed to escape my dorm. Woke up fast. Screaming in the smoke was everywhere. Gathered everything I could. Ran outside. If I'd stayed in bed any longer. If I'd slept. I don't want to think about it. Can't let it sit in my mind. Need to find somewhere safe. Find somewhere where they won't find me. I don't know who or what caused this. Why they do something so terrible. For Lady Mars' sake, I hope they are caught. They're punished. Brutally. Where can I hide, though? Where to go? The fire traps me. The monster finds me, then I'll have to go there. I'll have to hide there. Remain hidden in a place that few know exists. Lady Mars, please forgive me. Vote me if you must. Hurt me if you have to. Just need to be safe. Is this Grace? I don't remember Grace's voice font. I run toward the assembly hall. The fire hasn't caught up. No one stopped me. Things I've seen, the bodies writhing in agony. All our work, all our labor, all our effort being destroyed by a single... No, don't linger, Grace. Don't even think about pausing. Get out of here. Once this all goes away, once this ends, you'll go back. Then you can see what remains. What is Grace gonna find? I have to go outside. I need to run further, deeper, faster into the forest. All the trees are burning. They must push through. If I run a little further, I'll definitely find shelter. Outside, the trees are starting to burn. I have to keep on going, push further, get closer and closer to my goal. What happens when Grace sees out the side? There it is, that concrete building. The one we taped her going into. People would get in trouble for entering it, let alone seeing it. Where the lab was. Whenever Lady Morris visited this building, I went with her. She'd go about her business while I visited that girl in her cell. She never let me into the lab while she was working. This wasn't the usual way we reached the building, though. Back in the days, the forest path was too long to navigate for busy sect heads. No secret route was made, one that connected the head dorms to the building's basement. It was for this reason that normal Haven members could never enter the head dorms. No one in the Haven was allowed to know about this building. No one except Lady Amoris and the sect heads. When you went with Lady Amoris when you visited Magda. Even then, Lady Amoris always had to be there whenever we entered. Doing this on my own without her, it's against the rules. A high-class offense. I can't think of any better place to hide. I hope Lady Amoris understands once this is all over. The concrete building's steel door is wide open. Quickly I slip inside and slam it shut behind me. Inside there's rubble everywhere. The ceiling's blasted open. You can see the haze of burning fire brushed across the sky. I hope this will keep me safe. Please let me be safe. I look around for the most shaded, least visible spot. I rush there and sit down, dropping all my things to the floor. Oh, so she knows indeed. Hugging my legs to my chest, pressing my face into my knees. Don't want to get hurt. That explains why Eve was so serious about Magda having gone in here before, because Eve knew that this was a very forbidden place. If it's known only to sect heads, I don't want to get hurt, I don't want to die. Time passes, more time passes, even more time passes. Remain, curled up, unmoving, praying for it all to be over. The screams grow more distant. The blazing fires seem to grow even more quiet. Pray for there to be survivors. Pray for others to have hidden. Be able to help me. Be able to rebuild from this nightmare. What do we do to deserve this? We lived quietly, peacefully, and by the books. Our rules were strict, but they were there to help. We abhorred insanity, protected ourselves from it, rooted it up when we found it here. At the end, insanity won over us. Were we even stopping it at all? Go downstairs and see what you were doing. Eventually, everything outside goes silent. I get up, over to the entryway, placing my steps carefully so I don't make a noise. Gingerly, I open the door a crack. No response. I widen it a little more. No response again. A little more. A little more. A little more. No response. No response. No response. Door is fully open. I step outside and look around. The forest isn't burning anymore. See our remnants of trees and bushes. Piles of ash. Thick billowing columns of greasy smoke. Hopefully the people who were banished are okay. I feel like they might... If they even survive, they might still be in here? Make my way back home in complete silence. I think whoever did this is long gone. Must remain vigilant. Don't want to be attacked. Not now. I think this served as a jail, as well as the lab. No one is here. There are more bodies, columns of smoke, more dead trees, more piles of ash. Everything is still and grey. I want to know what happened to my friends. Those I cared about, those I admired. Ceres, Eve, Lady Maris. I believe they're still alive, but I shouldn't look for them. I tried finding them. If I knew how they died. They died from. I'd never be able to forget it. I don't want their bodies to be my last memories of them. How am I supposed to feel about this? What's in front of me? Seeing my home razed to the ground. To my community reduced to corpses. Seeing my entire world turn to ash. Knowing that I might be the only member left. To drop my knees and cry. Want to howl. To sob. To scream. To mourn the little time that I had with Lady Amaris. With my friends. Making things better here. I had so much more to do, to say, to make. The feelings don't come out. Something stops them, leaving me in some laughable parody of calmness. Nothing left for me here, is there? All I can do now is leave. Forever. If I want to survive, if I want to live, to remember, I guess I have no choice. It takes several minutes, maybe even an hour. Eventually I reach the Haven's port. My things that I saved are in tow. Generally leaving the island is frowned upon. However, to thrive, we did need outside resources. We couldn't survive with the resources we had. With resources here alone. This is why the ports existed. Heads, and sometimes a handful of particularly well-esteemed research sect members would trade even-produced goods for mainland goods. Goods like food, tools, or books. Right now the only boat that's docked is a wooden rowboat. Probably wasn't worth destroying. Not even worth considering. It's small and old, fit for a short trip made by one or two people. I'm hardly strong. Only rowed once or twice before. The boat before me is my only way off this island. My only chance of survival. Some hesitation, I step inside the boat. It rocks gently against my weight. Lake water that cradles its hull sloshes. As I bring my hands to the first tighten on a rope, tying the boat to the quay side, my heart hammers against my chest. I'm leaving. Forever. Come on, Grace. Can't panic now. Breathe. In and out, in and out, in and out. You can do this. Get yourself out of here. You will survive. Some fumbling, I pick the knot undone. 2 more to go. 2 more until I can enter the unknown. After the last knot is pulled apart, the boat comes free with little issue. Begins to gently drift away, slowly rocked by the waves of the lake. I push my foot against the side of the dock and launch the boat toward the mainland. The mainland I'd only set foot on once or twice before. I sit in the boat, as I've touched the haven for the last time. I'm never coming back. I'm going away, into a world I was hiding from all this time. I don't have any other option. No matter where I'll go, I'll always face insanity. I grab the oars in front of me and begin to row. Try to mimic Ceres's rowing, back when we collected new books for our libraries. How her arms moved, how she held the oars. Her oar strokes made clean cuts through the waters, propelling the boat forward quickly and easily. Mine are choppy, getting the oars sucked into the lake again and again. It takes all my strength to avoid losing one to the depths below. But even so, even with all my struggles, the boat moves closer and closer to the mainland. I keep on doing this. Now, if I have the strength to keep on doing this, maybe I'll reach the mainland safely. There may be surviving members there. Those who I left to trade. Those who might have stayed overnight to carry out a complicated deal. Might still be there. Answer the needs of any Haven member. Listen to my terrible tale. They'll help me. Help their head. Help their last leader. We'll still be able to keep our community alive. Continue Lady Amaris' legacy. Disappointing. Maybe build what we've lost. All I have is hope. Desperately clinging on to it. I hope that something better lies ahead. That despite everything, my world will survive. Oh, Haven, help me. Disappointing. Why the dramatic pause? And, yeah. In the end, the established world lingers on as long as some live to carry on this backwards message. Hot damn. Alright. It's coping harder than Lila. And Lilia, yeah. Whew. Need a drink after all that. Replay? Okay, so Act 3 was, Act 2 ended with the, trial. The second, assembly. Act 3 was everything that came afterwards. Alright. At long last, thank you for playing Bad Faith. This visual novel is my first original commercial work, and I'm happy I could release it to the world. To be honest, Bad Faith is my most personal work ever. I started developing the concept for this game toward the end of 2020. I wanted to write a story that could help me process my feelings of fear and anger. So I began doodling characters that related to that story, which eventually evolved into Bad Faith. So Magda's experiences reflected actual experiences I had from being, oh wow, I'm being bullied and gossiped about, to the overwhelming fear I felt around the communities I was in. So Magda's reaction was very, very real then. I wanted to write a story that people could connect to, specifically its themes of isolation, repression, and paranoia. I conveyed that within my storytelling. I wanted to do as much of the visual novel by myself as possible so that all of those themes felt consistent. I would handle everything besides the music. Thank Clooney's for beta reading Bad Faith helped me make my writing more powerful. That was very powerful. That was very powerful. That effectively like, when I said in the ending that this was a miserable experience, thank you. I mean that in the best possible way. That really and truly conveyed the breadth and depth of the negative emotions and just utter dread. The utter dread from an outside perspective that this is not going well. This is not a. This is a bad situation. It's bad feelings across the board. Act is in a bad place and only getting worse. And kept getting worse. Alright, sorry, here. I think Oracal, making my story structure as strong as it is now, you've been huge helpers for the development of this visual novel. Well, is this like the thing with talent? Team of beta testers helping you polish the game before release? Thank you. You were all wonderful. Finally, I'd like to thank my family members, friends, and followers for helping me push forward whenever I felt demotivated with Bad Faith progress. You're a big part of why this game exists now. Maybe I'll make another visual novel. After Bad Faith, we shall see what the future has in store. And so far, madam, you're up to two very delightful visual novels. I say very delightful. But goddamn, I can see like story structure and writing style of proto-violence. I can see where that came from now. Very, very much so. You have a way of... You have a way of just... It's... I wish I could convey my thoughts better, but this has been going... This stream is 5 hours, and... Large part of any reaction to this is going to be in the VOD afterwards, but... Stream has been going for 5 hours, and I am drained and very much emotionally spent going through that long and painful descent. Again, painful in the best way. In the best possible way. Page is still streaming. Oh, damn. Nice. I think it's literally just us in here, twin. So. But God, that was a thoroughly miserable read that utterly, utterly descended into a spiraled out of God. I am feeling bullied and gossiped about, overwhelming fear, isolation, repression, and paranoia. Yes, the painful repression, even when, like, God, even when seeing everything that Nils went through, what did Magda do coming out of that dream? Just kept on repressing, repressing, and repressing until she couldn't anymore, until it was far too late. All because didn't want to rock the boat of a community that fundamentally did not care about her. That was did not want to rock the boat in a community that was fundamentally backwards and did not care about her in the slightest. That saw her as divergent and disgraceful and the problem when she needed help. The community failed her in every possible way, and all in the name of keeping itself together, yeah? All in the name of some strange goal of staying together. That was pushes out the people who show any sort of divergence. Like jail being forced out for smuggling in, presumably, naughty comics and movies. Reeks so painfully of the whole, of a purity culture. So, just straight up forced out and shunned for having any kind of emotions which are any kind of emotions which people can look down on and call lewd and crass and unbecoming, just completely normal and healthy when allowed to exist, but purity cultures also feels very... There's obviously purity cultures exist across the board, but that is also combined with the religious aspect and a very cult-like presentation too, but the community. Underrated part of this is the shadowy figures around you in a community that you don't really know, that you're distant from, they're distant from you. You don't really care about because you have the people in your life you can turn to. And gives me that vibe of you, the worst feeling is to doubting, questioning the people you hold close. That paranoia. I think that's the bit that'd be particularly hard because that's an anxiety I always struggle with. Like, do I do enough for the people in my life who call me friend? Do I call friend? Do they actually consider me friend as much as I do them? I don't know. I hope so. I hope I did well enough. I hope I'm not a bad friend. I hope that they aren't actually secretly just tolerating me and waiting to toss me to the wind. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. And it's the biggest thing to just repress and just give them the faith of just accepting that friendship as long as they are still there. Don't know. But just the more we question it, the more we let it on then. But alas, I'm sorry, I'm still vibing here. Don't mind me. Feel free to head off. I'm just going to end the stream in a few moments anyways. It is been a long night. But alas, this has been a thoroughly miserable ride in the best possible way. The utterly emotional, well written ride that has left me feeling utterly miserable. Okay. You popping off, King. Thanks. Thank you. My god, yeah, that the paranoia, the feeling of yeah, that's like the worst. Like my worst fears realized is the scene where like Maria finally snapped, said, "Tired of this shit." About Eve and Saris. Stop bringing them up. And that right there is the biggest paranoia that hit me personally. Is the friend is so nice to you and lovely and caring about you, but it comes time to talk about anything personal. Am I unloading too much on them that they snapped at me? That they secretly are tired of me and snapped at me and want me to fuck off? Am I not actually considering their feelings in the matter too? Am I not doing enough for them in return? I don't know. And have them snap at me, it is a destructive. Oh gosh, Freya's here. Freya, you have arrived at the very end. I am feeling utterly miserable. this Freya, this was an utterly miserable experience in the best possible way. You should play this. This was a wonderfully, painfully miserable experience. You should play this. Exciting, we'll play. Yes, it is. Very, very gory. Yes, very gory. We killed lots of people, Twin. Lots of people died. There was much gore. Very pain. I'm emotionally drained. It. We are winning? Question mark. We we had a lovely marriage with a non-binding angel. and completely destroyed the society that was treated us like shit. What a day! What a hell of a day! Like if I can sum up my thoughts, if I can sum up my thoughts on this game, it is I had a miserable time. Thank you. It was a miserable, anxiety-inducing, depressing experience. And that's a sign of a fantastically written game. Well done. Have you ever played... I don't know if you ever played Violence or Proto-Violence, but this emotional style of writing comes back in full force in Proto-Violence. And Proto-Violence is also an equally depressing experience. Although I'd say Proto-Violence ends with a bigger note of hope, despite it all, being that it is a prequel and all, and we know that things kind of turn out decently. But this is, after everything, I don't know how I feel about this ending. It's perhaps fittingly miserable. They lived on, and our girl here is in a questionable hegemony with a being who has learned the taste of blood. Yeah, yeah, I can't really sum it up any better than that. I feel miserable. Thank you, Maddo.